I don't know if I will continue this world, maybe. But after this practice I would like to give a hardcore 100 days a shot.
So here we are. I am going to attempt to survive 100 days without dying. I don't think I have ever survived in Minecraft for 100 days, so this should be interesting. So let's not waste any more of your precious time and let's begin. Let's create a world. Nothing new here besides the fact that this world is on hardcore setting. I spawned in a pretty rough spot, at the edge of Ice Spikes biome. But fear not, I've already spotted some trees and have a whole day to find my way around here. Look at that, some sugarcane already. This is a pretty good looking spot, but I wanted to find some friends. And by friends I mean people I could exploit for profit. Pretty basic start, wood into wooden tools, then get a bit of stone, upgrade, and now I am ready to conquer the world. Cut down a couple more trees and made a boat. And look at this speed. Collected all of the sugarcane around the ice lake and went forward. And just like that around the corner were my first victims. Took every single thing I could get my hands on, even the crops from their farms, and went to bed. Pretty solid start to this video. Woke up and went exploring the nearby area. Went around the hill and saw this nice flat area. Instantly knew I was going to live here. And to my surprise, there was another town really close, just across the river. I also wanted their stuff, but my pockets were already full from robbing the first town. So I had to set up camp. Looked around a bit more to make sure this was really the best spot I could find, cleared a bit of land and placed down some chests to store all of their stolen stuff. Then I came back to the second village to pillage. You have no idea what these villagers will have to go through because of me in these 100 days, so keep watching. After I felt like I had enough, I decided to go mine. You can see how scared I was to go into this cave. I was completely naked. After mining a bit I came back up, and this guy took my bed. I had to politely ask him to move and slept. I continued to fight for my life down here where the monsters live. I was so scared, I sat here in a hole for half of the day. Then mined a bit more and found this completely different exit to the cave. And it was already dark. I used the opportunity of this guy sleeping to take all of his food, but unfortunately he wasn't asleep. And the second I broke his chest, he jumped up and tried to grab it, but I was too quick. While he was trying to figure out where was his food, I took his warm bed. The next day I went back to my camp and started to clear out some more land to build farms. By the end of the day 4 I had all of my sugarcane planted and started to work on the vegetable and wheat farms. Whole day 5 was spent finishing up a lot of planting, and I even built a place for some animals. I guess I forgot to record day 6, and by day 7 I had brought some cows over and started to dig out a mine. And not too far down I noticed there was a skeleton spawner here. Almost died trying to clear them out. I have to be a lot more alert, this is hardcore after all. On that, and all of my progress is lost. I had all the stuff needed for XP farm on me, so I decided to build it right now. Dug down a couple of blocks so skeletons don't hit their head on the spawner, and then made the killing chamber. Took down the torches from the spawner and there it was. A working skeleton XP farm at day 7. I started to farm them, and then realized I was hearing a lot more skeletons than seeing. There was something wrong with the farm. They were getting caught on each other, so I had to dig down a couple more blocks. After farming them a bit I went back to mining, and when digging down to bedrock, I stumbled into another spawner, but wasn't going to use it. I already had skeleton farm, and that was more useful in my mind because of the bone meal and arrows. Found quite a lot of stuff, even found my first diamonds. All of the 9 was also spent here strip mining, but with no luck. Came back up, harvested the farms and went to sleep. I wanted to get my hands on more diamonds. I had only 4, not enough for pickaxe and the enchanting table. So I spent all of the iron I had mined on pickaxes and went back down there. I strip mined for a whole day and went back up with another 4. Now a diamond pickaxe, I was searching for a lava pool to get some obsidian. This took longer than necessary. Those lava pools are everywhere when you don't need them, but when you do need them, they are nowhere to be seen. Finally found one and mined all the obsidian I would need for a while. Got back home, crafted enchanting table and nether portal. Went inside to check the spawn and it wasn't the worst one I've had. I tunneled for a while trying to find another fortress, and there it was. I carefully made my way down there and got everything I needed. When I came back home, I wanted to put those saddles and horse armors to use and get some horses. Got 2 of them. Crafted all my deep slate into bricks for my new home. Cut down a tree and went to explore the nearby land. Found this ruined portal and another town. My main goal was to get leather for books, so I had to kill a lot of animals. Took everything I could in this town and I went to bed. Pillaging continued on day 14. I don't know why do I even bother to take all of this stuff, but I guess I am freeing some of their villagers from their work. They can chill now. It's not like they were getting paid for the working anyway. After a full day of slaughtering cows and horses, I got all the leather I needed and more. Crafted all the books needed for a full enchanting table, then went down to the XP farm. All of the footage is just me sitting there patiently waiting for skeletons to spawn. I don't know why this happens, but after a while all of the skeletons take a lot of damage. If I had to guess, it has something to do with too many skeletons being in one chunk or something along the lines with that. I don't mind, it makes killing them a lot quicker. Day 16 and 17, my recordings kept stopping and I couldn't figure out why. After some googling, turns out Nvidia Shadowplay stops the recording when you have Netflix opened in the background, because it detects that you might be wanting to record their shows, and I guess post it on the internet for free. Nice to know the reason, but shame I lost 2-day footage and can't watch my shows when playing Minecraft. I am watching Dark now, and that show is a masterpiece. By the way, how nice is this free play mode? Makes these videos look so much more professional. Cut down a lot of trees and did some more landscaping, preparing the new spot for building. Started laying down the shape of my new home, but then I wanted some more XP and I went to AFK at the skeleton farm. After getting level 30, I checked for pickaxe enchantments and it only offered me Silk Touch. I wanted my only diamond pickaxe to Fortune 3, so I enchanted the iron one with silk and went back. By day 22 I was level 30 again, so I climbed up for round 2 and I got pretty lucky. Only Fortune 2, but that was good enough for now. Enchanted my sword, and for low level enchantments this was like the best I could wish for. Now that I had decent pickaxes, I went down to the mine. Started as strip mining, but I mined into this dripstone cave, and by day 23 I had cleared it all out. Came up a lot richer. I had all the materials needed for building my new home. I started to build, but realized I wanted a bit bigger house and had to clear out a bigger area. So I enjoyed this time lapse. It took a while building this and designing it on the spot, but I kept trying, and by day 38 this was the result. Interior still needs some work, but I will take care of it later. At the evening of day 38 I decided I needed some villagers. I wanted to do some business and to unlock better gear. I started to clear some land, but it was dark already, so I went to bed. Built this safe room for my new employees. I destroyed all of their workstations around the village and moved their beds inside, so they felt like at home, and it worked. Couple of them walked right in there. Visited the first village I found again, and by visiting I mean I stole all of their beds, because I needed them for my employees. And now, with more beds and bread casually being thrown on the floor, villagers were like, yep, this looks like a perfectly safe environment to start a family. I started to grind for sticks, my main income source for these 100 days. After some googling about villager professions, I realized I needed all of them, but first of all, I needed some better armor. This is hardcore after all, and I can't sit there at home for 100 days, that's just boring, right? So here is a time-lapse of me grinding for diamond armor. It took 2 days to get enough money for diamond gear. Now I finally felt a bit safer and won't have to stress out every time I see a skeleton. With the levels I got from all the trading, I enchanted some new pickaxes and decided to give it them a test drive. Put all my findings to smelt and started to get ready to transport my employees to their new offices. Built a railway to my home. Some of my new employees didn't believe that their old workplace was gone, so I had to let them out for a walk to check for themselves. The plan was working and already producing me children. Best thing about kidnapping children is that they don't hit their head on the way out. This one almost suffocated upon arrival, because those two at the end didn't want to let him in. Then I forgot villagers can open doors, so this one guy tried to escape. I tried to get him back here, but he did not want to listen to me. He chose to live life on his own terms, even if it meant dying to the zombies at night. So don't let anyone control your life. Quite inspirational villager. Installed brand new iron doors for their own safety, and by the end of day 45 I had 4 guys here. I needed to get the minecarts back to not waste any more iron. It was a bit tricky, because if I hit the guy instead of the minecart, that 3-meter tall iron guy would come for my head, and he hits like a truck. Crafted some more workstations and transported some of more workers. Leveled up this guy and he was selling some pretty good shovels, which will come in handy later in this video. Did some more trading with the farmers for experience, and enchanted another pickaxe. I wanted fortune 3, but no luck yet. I did some more trading to try my luck again, but again I didn't get that fortune 3. I decided to make the railway back to the villager camp and transport the last guy. The librarian gave me mending pretty quickly, so that was nice. Usually it takes me about a whole day of breaking and placing the workstation. Some of the workers tried to escape, but I quickly put them back into their place. Cut down a bunch of more trees to get some more money for mending books. Harvested crops and went to bed. Day 50 I was feeling brave enough to visit the Nether again. Didn't do much here, just farmed the blaze rods a bit and went back. The next day I was preparing for villager infection. Took the whole day just to get them in their places and block off golems, so they don't kill the zombie. And when the night came out, I invited a zombie to do his thing, and acted like I wasn't there. Then came in like a hero and cured them. They really didn't want to get cured. When they were finally cured, it was day 53 already. Whole day 53 was spent making money. I wanted to reconstruct this village. I didn't like the way it looked. Before building it the way I wanted to, I needed to remove the original one and level the ground. Started to remove some of the wood and thought it was quite funny that the villagers were unconsciously buying their own home crafted into sticks. Traded a bit more and went to bed. Day 55 started by going to the mine. Mined a bit, and then I guess something very important happened, because I have left myself in a hole. I can't recall why I would have done this. I recorded this almost instantly after the first 100 days, but editing it now, like a month later, I really don't remember what was going on there. Mining continued for a few days. Climbed out of the caves on night of the day 57. Slept and went to put down all of my ore blocks, to then mine them again with Fortune 3. For the next few days I was trying to get Fortune 3. All I had was Fortune 2, so I started by trading for experience and enchanting my pickaxes. But after a few unlucky attempts I gave up and decided it would be easier for me just to convert one of the villagers to a librarian that sells fortune books. And after way too much time breaking and placing his workstation, I finally got it. I needed to smelt all of these ores, and mining for coal or wood was not an option. That would take too long. So I had this idea to make a lava farm. I've seen one of my friends build this one on our server and decided to replicate it. Hardest part of this farm is literally getting the dripstone. But I already had some, so it was really easy, and it produces quite a lot of lava, and as we all know, lava is the best fuel for smelting. After creating that lava farm, I really liked the way it looked on my land, so I decided to fill in a bit more, decorating already existing structures and building a new ones. By day 65 my land was gorgeous. I was really happy how it was starting to look. I really liked the color scheme of this build. Decided it was time for more money making, but I wanted to get better deals. So I headed to the nether for those brown mushrooms you need to get to craft the fermented ice. I waited for nighttime to get a zombie, and what seemed to be a pretty easy task was already getting messy. Zombies had some sort of vendetta against these skeletons and gave them a shovel to the head. After he was done with skeletons, he came at me, but I hit him with the boat strategy and went home. It was too late. Sun was already back up and he couldn't infect the villagers right now. On the 68th night, finally I was ready to infect villagers, and that took a while. Iron golems kept killing the zombies while being blocked off. I guess these guys have really long arms and have no trouble reaching through a solid dirt wall. An infecting process took some days. I really should build a better system for this kind of stuff. The zombie seems to get stuck at times, making this really long process. A small zombie would fix this issue, but I couldn't find one. Day 70, all of my villagers were ready. Cleared some land and built a little shack for them, so they have a roof over their head, and started to remove their old place. Got them all in here and blocked them off for their own safety. Installed floor and removed the railway to my home. I wanted to build a better one eventually to connect my base with these two towns. I wanted to remove whole village and level the ground, but that would take a really long time. These 30 days left wouldn't be enough, so I needed a beacon, and for that I need to visit the nether. While going to nether portal, these guys ambushed me. I almost killed them, but realized it would start a raid instantly, because my villagers were right next to me, and I wasn't prepared to fight the whole raid right now. So I left them to live a little bit more, got all the skulls needed for beacon, and headed back home. After my first 100 days Wither encounter, I needed to prepare better, because I was now playing in hardcore. Turns out Wither is really easy to kill down here at the deep slate level. You just make a tunnel and shoot him with a bow. The fight was over in like 30 seconds and I don't think he hit me once. Now that I've got beacon, I could start working on my plan to level this whole area where the old village is. I built a beacon and quickly realized I didn't have nearly enough blocks even with all the iron, because it hasn't smelted yet. So I traded as much as I could today, grabbed all of the iron that was ready and started digging. Every day I took a couple of houses down and stored all of their materials. I might need them later for my new town. I got so lucky one of my employees is selling efficiency 3 shovels. It's so weird how our brain links together some of our visual memory with emotional memory, if that makes sense. Because when seeing a specific part of this video, I instantly remembered what was going on in my life at that point. Like for example, when starting this leveling project, I recall a bit of stress and excitement, because at that point I was getting ready for a 3-day trip to Estonia. I bet you all have experienced this as well. Most common example would be with music. We can all associate some songs with visual or emotional memories. Anyway, let's get back on the topic. I was doing this for way too long, taking a break from digging to cut down trees, which I used to trade for emeralds, which then were used to fill up beacon to get haste 2 eventually, because that would be needed to remove stone parts of this leveling project. Literally for the next 20 days this is all that you will see. Dig dirt, mine stone, cut wood, trade, fill in holes, punch grass, sleep. So I won't bore you with this. Instead, watch this time lapse. On day 91 I felt brave enough to search for stronghold. I told myself that by the end of the day the dragon will fall. The eyes pointed in this direction. I dug down and mined straight into the stronghold. The nerves were kicking in. You can see that when I almost threw all of my eyes out. Imagine having to go back for more eyes because you misclicked. I didn't hesitate to jump in. I felt like I had been prepared for this. I've done this a couple of times and this was no different. Only thing is that I couldn't die. I took out all of the pillars, some easier than others, and when the timing was right, I attacked the dragon with my trusty sword. He didn't seem to notice me here, and I've done quite a lot of damage. Then I finished the job from range. Now that the dragon is gone, I collected my reward, that being a bunch of experience and dragon egg. Made my way down to the portal, and to my surprise I teleported right next to the end city, and unlike my first 100 days, this one actually had a ship with elytra. Once I got the elytra, I instantly enchanted it with mending. That's why I always take an anvil with me on the dragon fight. That way I can fly around and look for more without having to worry about it breaking. Got home, sorted all of my loot. I've gotten a lot of stuff from raiding end cities, more than I will ever need for the next 100 days. On the day 94, I wanted to place the dragon egg for display, and I thought this would look cool, right in front of my home, just to kinda show off. Next few days I got back to work. I finished all the land, then I encountered another group of pillagers. I was not letting them get away this time, so I rushed home to grab my best gear and slaughtered them. I have villagers in my house right next to me, so it instantly started a raid. I couldn't hit these guys if my life depended on it. The first wave was really easy and I was feeling good. All of them seem to get stuck here under this roof section, which makes killing them a bit easier. Third wave I wanted to get up close, personal and messy with them. Brawl it out like real men. Fourth wave it was getting a bit tricky. Witches poisoned me and my horse, and I couldn't move to dodge arrows, so I had to jump off and use my bow. Unfortunately this arrow hit my horse and he was gone, but I had another one, so I wasn't too worried. It's not like I've made an emotional bond with this horse or anything like that. I literally tamed him, left him there to sit for this whole video. As soon as I saw this, I knew there was no way I can kill them alone. So I tried to lure the fifth wave into the golems, and with their help we got almost all of them. But I lost the second horse. I realized I can't see a thing and went back for a quick nap. Thankfully these guys were kind enough to wait. Last wave almost got me, but with my trusty bodyguards they realistically didn't stand a chance. I got the hero of the village advancement, but it cost me 2 of my friends. I made sure I would never forget their sacrifice. And there you have it. I've survived 100 days in hardcore Minecraft. At first I was pretty sure I would have to remake this video out at least a couple of times, but to my surprise I did it the first try, while accomplishing the same, if not more than my first 100 days video, which wasn't hardcore, but I still recommend that you go give it a watch. The goal for this video was just to survive, and I've done so much more. I want to continue this world, see where it takes me, so you can be expecting a 200-day video sooner or later. Subscribe if you want to see similar content to this, leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and peace.